Captain Minho pressed his face against the thick glass of the ship's window. Far ahead in the darkness of space, something big floated alone. It looked like a space station, but old and broken. Parts of it were missing. Other parts had been fixed with metal pieces that didn't match. "Captain, I'm getting strange readings," said Sojin from her computer. She was young, and always nervous when they found something new. "There are life forms on that station. Lots of them." Minho walked over to look at her screen. Numbers and colors danced across it. Each color meant a different type of living being. There were so many colors that the screen looked like a rainbow. "How many?" he asked. Sojin counted quietly. Her eyes grew wide. "Thousands, sir. And they're all different species. I've never seen readings like this." The other crew members gathered around. Their ship, the New Dawn, was made for exploring empty space and finding new planets. They weren't prepared for this. "Should we call for backup?" asked Lieutenant Tae-Ho. Minho shook his head. "We check it out first. Something doesn't feel right about this." They put on their spacesuits and took a small shuttle to the broken station. As they got closer, Minho could see that the station was held together with hope and spare parts. Pipes ran along the outside walls. Some glowed with energy. Others looked dead. The shuttle docked with a loud clang. When they opened the door, warm air rushed in. It smelled strange, like many different worlds mixed together. They walked through dark hallways, lit by small emergency lights. The walls were covered in drawings. Some looked like stick figures holding hands. Others showed stars and planets. They were clearly made by children. "This way," whispered Sojin, following her scanner. They turned a corner and stopped. In front of them was a huge room with a clear ceiling. Through the ceiling, they could see space and distant stars. But that wasn't what made them stop breathing. The room was full of children. But these weren't human children. Some had scales that changed color. Others had wings that couldn't fly properly. Some were covered in soft fur. Others had skin that glowed weakly in the dark. They sat in small groups. The bigger ones took care of the smaller ones. They shared food from containers that looked almost empty. When they saw the humans, they didn't run. They just watched with careful eyes. A small girl with green scales came forward. Her scales didn't shine like they should. They looked cloudy and dull. She was tiny, maybe 7 years old. "You are new people," she said in broken words. "You are not here to take us back." Minho knelt down so he was the same height as the girl. "Take you back where?" The girl pointed at the ceiling, toward the stars. "To the places that said we are broken, that said we are wrong." Other children came closer. There was a boy who looked strong but moved slowly. His people had probably wanted him to be faster. There was a girl whose skin should have been bright blue, but was pale purple instead. A boy with wings that were too small for his body. "What are your names?" Minho asked softly. "I am Kira," said the girl with cloudy scales. "This is my family." She pointed to all the other children. "We take care of each other now." An older boy, maybe 16, came forward. He had crystals growing from his arms, but they were the wrong color, gray instead of bright blue. "Our birth families sent us away," he said. His voice was sad but strong. "They said we were mistakes, so we found each other. We made our own family." Sojin was looking at her scanner. "Captain," she whispered, "the life support on this station is failing. They have maybe 2 weeks of air left." Minho stood up. He looked at all the faces watching him. Some were scared, some were hopeful. All of them were too thin. All of them looked like they had learned not to expect good things. "How long have you been here?" he asked. "Some of us, many years," Kira said. "New ones come sometimes, when their families decide they are too different." The room was quiet, except for the sound of old machines working hard to keep everyone alive. Minho thought about his own daughter back on Earth. He thought about how much he loved her. He couldn't understand how anyone could throw away a child. He touched his communication device. New Dawn, this is the captain. Prepare the cargo bays. Make them ready for passengers. Lots of passengers. Sir, came the voice from the ship. We're bringing everyone home, Minho said. He looked at Kira and smiled. All of you, would you like to come with us? For the first time, Kira's cloudy scales seemed to shine a little. Around the room, children started to whisper to each other in different languages. The whispers became excited voices. Some started to cry happy tears. Will you really keep us? Kira asked. Forever, Minho promised. The big ships landed on Earth with a soft rumble that shook the ground. People came running from everywhere to see what was happening. They had never seen so many strange children before. Dr. Haywan stood at the landing area with her team of helpers. She was a kind woman who had spent her whole life taking care of sick people. But today, she felt scared. How could they take care of thousands of alien children? Each one needed different things to stay alive. Remember, she told her. Team, go slow. They are frightened. Many have never seen humans before. The first child to come down the ramp was Kira, the little girl with cloudy scales. She held Captain Minho's hand tightly. Her big yellow eyes looked at everything. The blue sky made her gasp. She had never seen a real sky before. Behind her came Tor, a boy who looked like a giant but was small for his people. His thick gray skin was covered in scars from living on the broken station. He walked carefully, like he was afraid the ground would break under his feet. So many colors, whispered Lysa, a girl whose skin should have glowed bright white but only gave off a soft pink light. Everything is so bright here. The humans watching started to come closer. Some looked curious. Others looked worried. A few looked angry. Why are we bringing them here? Shouted a man from the crowd. They're not our problem. But then a human child broke away from her mother and ran to Kira. She was about the same age, with brown hair and a big smile. Hi, the human girl said. I'm Yunmi. Do you want to be friends? Kira stared at her. Nobody had ever asked to be her friend before. Slowly, she nodded. Dr. Haywan smiled. Maybe this would work after all. The next few weeks were hard. The government built special houses for the alien children. Each house had different air and different temperature. Some needed it very cold. Others needed it hot and wet, like a jungle. Jae-sung was a teacher who volunteered to help. He found Tor sitting alone one day, looking sad. What's wrong? Jae-sung asked. I tried to read your books, Tor said in broken English. But words are too hard. My people say I am too stupid. Maybe they are right. Jae-sung sat down next to him. You're not stupid. You just need practice. Here, let's start with easy words. They worked together every day. Tor was slow, but he never gave up. After a month, he could read simple stories. After 2 months, he was helping younger children with their lessons. Yuna worked in the medical center. She took care of the sick children. Many of them had never had proper food or medicine. They were thin and weak. This one needs special care, she told Dr. Haywan, pointing to a small creature that looked like a living crystal. His name is Zen. His people threw him away because his crystal body has cracks in it. But Yuna noticed something interesting. The cracks in Zen's crystal body made pretty patterns when light hit them. They looked like rainbows dancing inside him. You're beautiful, she told him one day. Zen looked surprised. Nobody had ever called him beautiful before. Meanwhile, important. People in the government were getting angry messages from space. The Galactic Council was upset that humans had taken the alien children. Ambassador Dong Hyen sat in his office reading the latest message. It said that humans had stolen property that belonged to other worlds. It demanded that all the children be sent back immediately. Dong Hyen got angry. He had visited the children many times. He had seen Kira laugh as she played with human children. He had watched Tor learn to read. He had seen Lysa paint beautiful pictures with her glowing hands. They're not property, he said to his assistant. They're kids. They deserve love and care. He wrote back to the Galactic Council. The children are happy here. They are learning and growing. We will not send them back to places that don't want them. The answer came quickly. It was not friendly. At the children's center, nobody told the kids about these angry messages. They were too busy learning and playing. Kira had learned to speak English well. She helped translate for newer children who arrived each month. Earth is good, she told a frightened young alien who had just arrived. Humans are kind. They give us food and warm beds. They don't care if we look different. Tor had grown stronger, eating Earth food. He was still small for his people, but he was smart. He started building things with his hands. He made toys for the younger children and fixed broken machines. Lysa discovered that her weak glow was perfect for night lights. The human children loved when she would make her hands glow during story time. She wasn't broken or wrong. She was special. But outside, storm clouds were gathering. Other alien worlds were watching what humans were doing. Some thought it was wonderful. Others thought it was dangerous. They worried that their own people might start asking questions about the children they had thrown away. War was coming. But for now, in the special houses on Earth, alien children laughed and played, and learned that they were loved. 10 years had passed since the alien children came to Earth. The special houses had become real homes. The scared, thin children were now strong young adults with big dreams. Kira walked through the engineering workshop, wearing a blue uniform. Her cloudy scales, which her people had called ugly, now helped her see things that others missed. She could spot tiny cracks in metal that would break later. The humans called it a gift. "Good morning, Kira," said her human co-worker Junho. "Ready to test the new engine?" Kira smiled. Her English was perfect now, but she still had a slight accent that made her sound musical. "I found 3 weak spots in the design. If we fix them, the engine will be twice as strong." Junho shook his head in amazement. "Your people were crazy to throw you away." Across town, Tor stood in front of a classroom full of human and alien children. He was a teacher now. His thick gray skin and slow way of talking made children feel safe. They knew he would never rush them or make them feel stupid. "Today we will learn about building bridges," he said in his gentle voice. "Who knows why bridges are important?" A small human boy raised his hand. "They help us get across rivers." "Yes," Tora nodded. "But bridges do more than that. They connect things that are far apart. They help different places become friends." In the back of the room, Lysa sat with her art students. Her soft pink glow had grown stronger over the years. Now she could change colors like a sunset. She was teaching the children how to paint with light. "Art is not about being perfect," she told them. "It's about showing what's in your heart." A young alien girl with blue fur looked sad. "But my drawings are messy. They don't look like yours." Lysa knelt down next to her. "That's what makes them special. Nobody else can draw exactly like you do." The girl smiled and picked up her paintbrush again. But not everyone on Earth was happy with how things were going. In the government buildings, people argued every day about the alien children. "They're taking jobs from humans," complained Senator Wang Ho during a meeting. "And now they want to bring more of them here." Ambassador Deng Haiyan stood up. He was older now, with gray hair, but his voice was still strong. "These young people didn't take anything from us. They earned their places here. They work hard and pay taxes, just like everyone else. But the other alien worlds are angry with us," Wang Ho said. "They say we're stealing their people. They're threatening to stop trading with Earth." Deng Yan looked tired. "So we should send back people who love Earth. People who call this place home. Would you send back your own children because strangers told you to?" Far away in space, the Galactic Council was meeting. The leaders of 12 different worlds sat around a big table. They were all very angry. "The humans have made us look foolish," said the Krillian ambassador. His crystal body flashed red with anger. Our own people are starting to ask questions. Why did we throw away those children? What if we made mistakes? The Selfin leader's telepathic voice was cold in everyone's minds. Some of our young people refuse to have children now. They're afraid we'll throw them away too if they're not perfect. This is all the humans' fault, growled the Thrakari general. They should have minded their own business. Now our societies are falling apart. The council voted. They would demand that Earth return all the alien children immediately. If the humans refused, there would be war. Back on Earth, Kira was working late in her lab when she got a call from Captain Minho. He was an admiral now, in charge of Earth's space defense. Kira, I need you to come to headquarters right away, he said. His voice sounded worried. What's wrong? She asked. We just received a message from the Galactic Council. They want all of you back. If we say no, they're going to attack Earth. Kira felt her scales turn dark blue, the way they did when she was scared or angry. Admiral, Earth is our home now. These people are our family. I know, Minho said. But there are 12 worlds against us. Their armies are already moving toward our solar system. That night, all the alien children who had grown up on Earth met in the big community center. There were thousands of them now, from babies who had been born on Earth to adults with their own human families. Tor spoke first. They want to take us away from our home, he said quietly. Away from the people who love us. Lysa's glow turned angry red. We won't go. This is where we belong. Kira stood up. Her cloudy scales seemed to shine in the light. My birth people threw me away because I wasn't good enough for them. But I'm perfect for Earth. We all are. The crowd cheered. Humans and aliens hugged each. Other children cried. But they were not tears of sadness. They were tears of determination. Then we fight, said Zen, the crystal boy who was now a grown man. His cracked body sparkled with rainbow colors. We protect our real family. Outside, the stars looked peaceful, but everyone knew that war was coming. The galaxy had never seen anything like what was about to happen. For the first time in history, beings would fight not for the worlds that made them, but for the world that chose them. The alien warships came like angry storm clouds across the stars. 12 different worlds had sent their best fighters to take back what they called their property. The ships were big and covered in weapons that could destroy cities. Admiral Minho stood on the bridge of Earth's biggest warship. Through the window, he could see the enemy fleet getting closer. There were so many ships that they blocked out the stars. Sir, they're asking us to talk one more time, said Commander Ram. Minho nodded. The screen in front of him lit up with the faces of 12 alien leaders. They all looked very angry. Humans, said the Krillian leader, his crystal body flashing. Red, this is your last chance. Give us back our children, and we will leave peacefully. They're not children anymore, Minho replied. They're adults who can choose for themselves, and they choose to stay here. You have stolen our genetic material, hissed the Selfin commander. You have no right to keep what belongs to us. Behind Minho, Kira stepped forward. She wore the uniform of Earth's Space Force now. Her cloudy scales looked beautiful under the bridge lights. I belong to myself, she said clearly. Earth didn't steal me. Earth saved me. You threw me away like garbage. The alien leaders looked shocked to see her. They had expected to find weak, grateful children. Instead, they found strong adults who were angry and proud. You were defective, the Krillian leader said. We were cleaning our species. Kira laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. Defective. I can see flaws in metal that your perfect people miss. I helped build the strongest ships in the galaxy. Who's really defective? The screen went black. The time for talking was over. All ships, prepare for battle, Minho ordered. The war began with bright flashes of light across the darkness of space. Earth's ships were smaller and fewer, but they had something the aliens didn't expect. They had the Forgotten fighting with them, Tor sat in the weapons control room of the battleship, New Hope. His people had thrown him away for being too slow, but his careful thinking made him the best shot in the fleet. He never missed his target. Enemy ship coming in fast, reported his human partner Jamin. Tor's thick fingers moved slowly across the controls. He waited, then fired. The enemy ship exploded in a ball of fire. How did you know exactly when to shoot? Jamin asked. My people think fast and miss their targets, Tor said calmly. I think slow and hit mine. On another ship, Lisa was in the communication center. Her weak telepathy, which her people had laughed at, was perfect for talking to the human pilots during battle. She could send messages to their minds without the enemy hearing. Captain Su-Ben, 3 enemy fighters coming from your left side, she whispered into his thoughts. Su-Ben turned his ship just in time. The enemy weapons missed him by inches. Thanks, Lisa. You just saved my life. All across the battlefield, the Forgotten used their broken gifts to help Earth win. Zen, the cracked crystal man, could absorb enemy laser fire and shoot it back even stronger. The aliens had thrown him away because he was damaged, but his damage made him the perfect living weapon. The alien leaders watched their perfect warriors lose to defective children and weak humans. They couldn't understand what was happening. How are they winning? Demanded the Thrakari general. Our ships are better. Our weapons are stronger. They fight like a family, said the Selfin commander, reading the thoughts of the human soldiers. Each one will die before letting harm come to the others. Our people fight for duty. They fight for love. On Earth, the people watched the battle on their screens. Human and alien children held hands as they watched their older brothers and sisters fight in space. Nobody was afraid. They trusted their family to protect them. Look, said young Yunmi, pointing at the screen. She was grown up now with children of her own. Kira's ship is leading the attack. Kira's voice came over the radio for everyone to hear. This is Commander Kira to all Earth forces. They called us broken. They called us worthless. Let's show them what the unwanted can do. The Earth fleet charged forward with a battle cry that shook the stars. Human ships and forgotten warriors fought side by side. They moved like dancers, each one knowing exactly where the others would be. The enemy lines began to break apart. Perfect warriors ran away from defective children who fought with the fury of the truly loved. Retreat, ordered the Krillian leader. Fall back to safe distance. But it was too late. Earth's forces had surrounded them. The great alien fleet that came to take back their property was trapped by the very beings they had thrown away. Surrender now, Admiral Minho's voice echoed across all the enemy ships, or we will show you what happens when you threaten our family. One by one, the alien warships lowered their weapons. The great battle was over. Earth had one dot in the silence. That followed. Kira's voice spoke again, but now it was gentle, like a teacher talking to confused students. We could have been your children, she said. We could have made you proud. Instead, we'll make Earth proud. Your loss is our gain. The war was over, but everything was about to change. 5 years after the great battle, the galaxy was a different place. The defeated alien fleets had limped back to their home worlds, carrying a message that changed everything. The defective children they had thrown away were now strong, smart, and happy. On the planet Krilla, young crystal people began asking hard questions. Why did we throw away the cloudy ones? They demanded from their leaders. What if we made mistakes? The Krillian government didn't have good answers. For the first time in their history, some crystal people refused to send away their imperfect children. They kept them and loved them instead. The same thing was happening on 12 different worlds. Parents hid their different children, young. People refused to have babies because they were scared of throwing them away. The perfect societies were falling apart. On Earth, Kira stood in front of a huge new building called the Found Foundation. The The sign was written in 20 different languages, including human writing. She was older now, with small lines around her eyes from smiling so much. "Today we launch our first rescue ship," she announced to the crowd. Humans and aliens cheered. Together, the ship Tor designed will search for abandoned children across the galaxy. Tor walked up beside her. He moved slowly, like always, but his gray skin seemed to glow with happiness. "The ship is very strong," he said in his gentle voice. "It has special rooms for any kind of child we might find." Behind them, the rescue ship Hope's Dawn sat ready for its first mission. It was beautiful, with smooth lines and bright colors. But most important, it had huge cargo bays filled with food, medicine, and toys for scared children. Captain Yuna, who had once been a nurse, would command the ship. "We got a message yesterday," she told the crowd. "There's a space station near the Andorian system. It's full of children that 3 different worlds threw away." The crowd went quiet. Everyone remembered the first broken station where Earth had found Kira and the others. "We'll bring them home," Yuna promised. "All of them." In the crowd, Admiral Minho watched with tears in his eyes. He was very old now, with white hair and wrinkled hands, but he stood straight and proud as he watched the children he had saved become the saviors of others. "Sir," said his aide, Commander Sung-ho, "the Galactic Council wants to meet with us. They're asking for our help." Minho almost laughed. "Now they want our help, after trying to destroy us." "Yes, sir. Their societies are breaking down. Young people won't follow the old rules anymore. They want to learn how we made integration work." Across the galaxy, Lysa was on the planet Self, talking to their government. Her pink glow had become famous throughout the stars. Children who saw her knew that being different was beautiful. "Your people called my telepathy weak," she told the Selfin leaders. "But weak telepathy is perfect for talking to other species. I can connect minds that are very different from each other." The Selfin Council looked ashamed. We made errors in judgment," their leader admitted. "We want to learn from our mistakes. Will you help us?" Lysa smiled. "I'll help you save the children you haven't thrown away yet. But the ones you already abandoned belong with their new families now." On Earth, the integration centers had become schools that aliens from across the galaxy came to study. They wanted to learn how humans had made so many different species live together happily. Dr. Haywan, now very old but still kind, gave tours to the alien visitors. "The secret isn't science," she told them. "It's love. When you love someone, their differences become beautiful instead of wrong." The visitors watched human and alien children playing together in the gardens. They saw forgotten adults teaching classes, building spaceships, making art, and raising families of their own. "How do you know which ones to keep and which ones to send away?" asked a confused Thrakari officer. Dr. Haywan stared at him. "We don't send any away. Every child deserves love and a chance to grow." Meanwhile, Zen had become famous across the galaxy as an artist. His cracked crystal body created the most beautiful light shows anyone had ever seen. Rich people from many worlds paid huge amounts of money for his art. "I could have made my birth world wealthy," he told a reporter. "Instead, they threw me in the trash. Now Earth gets all the benefits of my gift." The reporter was from his home world. She looked embarrassed. "Our leaders want to invite you back. They say they're sorry." Zen's rainbow light danced through his cracks as he laughed. "Earth is my home now. These people loved me when I was broken and scared. I won't leave them for people who only want me now that I'm successful." The rescue ships kept launching from Earth. Each month, they brought back more abandoned children. The Foundation built new centers on other planets too. Soon, there was nowhere in the galaxy where a thrown-away child couldn't find help. At the dedication of the 10th rescue ship, Admiral Minho gave his final speech before retiring. The crowd was huge, thousands of humans and aliens who had become one big family. 30 years ago, "We found scared children on a dying station," he said. "We could have followed the rules and left them there. Instead, we chose love. That choice changed everything." He looked out at all the faces watching him. Humans stood next to crystal people, and telepaths, and giants, and glowing beings. Children who had never known their birth parents played with children who had been thrown away by theirs. Today, Earth is known across the galaxy not as humanity's world, but as the heart of a new kind of family. A family where everyone belongs. The crowd cheered so loud that ships in orbit could hear them. And in the darkness of space, rescue ships continued their work, carrying Earth's greatest gift to every corner of the galaxy, the promise that no child would ever be forgotten again.